All right. Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you've never been here before. Today I want to do a short, quick little movie review about the newest, I say that in, air quotes because it kind of came out a while ago, but I just recently watched it. Newest release on Amazon Prime, an Amazon Prime original called My Best Friend's Exorcism. Before we get into it, if you haven't already, I highly encourage you to check out the Patreon to get videos earlier than when I post them here on YouTube, and you can even join for just $1 a month and get access to the Discord and help me pick my next movie reaction. So I was intrigued by this movie for a couple of reasons. One, the premise itself sounded interesting. It's in the 80s. You guys know how I feel about the 80s. And also had, what's her name? From 8th grade. Is it Ellie Fisher? Elsie? I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Whatever. The main girl from 8th grade, Bo Burnham's 8th grade. That film was really freaking good. And it's also based on a book. Now, I have never read the book, so I can't do a comparison to that, but I did watch the movie. Now, I'm gonna start off by saying, do not expect the highest quality. It's kind of one of those movies that you just watch for fun. If you're looking for some sort of like intense cinematic, making a wave in society, putting a mark on history type of film, you're not gonna get it with this, all right? It is meant to just be a fun film. Now, this is described as a horror comedy, and the title of the movie says it all. It is about these two friends. One of them gets possessed. They gotta exorcise the demon inside of her. That's pretty much the entire premise. I will say I was a little disappointed with the acting in this one. Like I said, the girl from 8th grade. I keep saying the girl from 8th grade only because I don't know how to pronounce her name. Miss Fisher. I know what she's capable of because I've seen her in other stuff, and I know that she is a good actress, but in this one, something was off. I don't know if it was the writing, the setting, what. It just was not her best performance, and I don't mean that as like you're a bad actor, obviously, because I think she's like not even that old. I don't want to be that type of person, you know what I'm saying? How old is she? Okay, she's 19. Yeah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to, be mean about a 19-year-old, but you know what I mean? I know what she's capable of, so I don't know what it was for this one that kind of changed my opinion. I feel like all the acting, and I will say this, the girl, the main girl as well in My Best Friend's Exorcism, the one that gets possessed, is a spitting image of Chloe Grace Moretz, whatever, spitting image. I'm like, how is this not the same girl? I kept thinking that. So go into that with you will, but she is a spitting image of her. So acting wasn't the best. It was decently funny at certain points, but there were definitely times where they thought that they were being funny while I was like, okay. It is pretty gross, being possessed is not a clean occupation, but it was nasty to say the least. It was actually really gross in my opinion. Graphics. I need to talk about the graphics. I don't know what kind of budget they had for this, but the graphics were not ideal to what you would think they would be, because this movie kind of is playing into what is popular right now, which is timepieces, usually set in the 80s, 70s is really popular right now. Horror films, you know what I mean? That's something that's very popular. We've seen that a lot recently with It, X, Pearl, Black Phone, you know what I mean? A lot of newer movies are taking that into play, and you can kind of tell that they're kind of just like hopping onto the bandwagon. Now, like I said, this is adapted from a book. I have not read the book. If you have read the book, let me know how that is. I don't think I'm going to, but there are certain parts where I can tell that it was direct line from the book. You can tell. Even setups or the way it was directed, I'm like, okay, this seems like it would be exactly like word for word what the book would describe it, which is fine, but if you're gonna adapt a movie out of the book, you gotta alter it so it feels more realistic realistic than just, then she walked over to here and did this, blah, blah, blah. And it was like long scenes like that, but in the book. I don't know if I'm making sense. You know how in the book when they describe little things like that in detail, that's fine because you're trying to get the image of it in your head. For a movie, you don't have to be so particular about those things because you can show it pretty fast and the audience will get it. Now, this movie is super fast paced. It was incredibly fast paced, not enough scary things. It wasn't scary if you're worried about that. It was not scary, but with that, the graphics make it not scary. It is PG-13, I'm pretty sure. So, like I said, don't be expecting the greatest, body horror imaginable. It's not gonna be nominated for like any makeup designing. I'm sorry to the people that worked on this film. It's not gonna be nominated for that. But let me tell you, this movie is for people that like stupid movies that you want to just put on, watch with your friends, your family, whatever, and just be like, hey, this is kind of, get a load of this movie, you know what I mean? It's kind of how I would describe it, like a Zombies. If you've ever seen the movie Zombies, please go and watch it. It's one of those type of movies where you don't really need to pay attention to the plot. It's pretty easy because they kind of spell everything out for you sometimes, which can be a little okay if you're paying attention. Like, I didn't fully pay attention. I was like doing other stuff kind of watching this movie because I didn't need to pay attention because they were kind of spelling things out for me at every point in time. So I got a little repetitive, a little hammering the theme, okay, like this girl's possessed, like, oh, she's making bad decisions and being a bad person and blah, blah, blah. So they're kind of hammering that into your brain a little bit. But if you've never seen Zombies, it's such a bad movie. But it's one of those things where it's so bad, it's almost good, question mark. It's one of those things where you just want to rewatch it because it's so bad. You know what I mean? Zombies is about a zoo and the zoo animals turn into zombies. Zombies. You get the picture. I don't know what it's on, but if you ever find it and watch it, you're welcome. Because of that, I'm pretty sure on Letterboxd I gave it a 3-star. Like I said, because it was so bad. I was like, I need to rewatch this immediately almost, but I want to rewatch it with someone else. You know what I mean? Oh, I gave it 2.5. Okay, yeah. Wasn't good enough to get 3 stars out of me, but 2.5 is enough for me to want to watch it with someone else and be like, it's kind of ridiculous. The ending was so odd. So odd. I was like, this isn't your typical exorcism movie, okay? Because I just don't know what's going on at this point in time. And I also kind of thought the setting is also these two best friends go to a Catholic school. And I thought that was gonna play a bigger role, but it didn't really. It kind of did because it introduces you to another character that's important. But that's about it. It's nothing more. And also, there was like a whole other plot in here where I understand why they had it, but it just seemed like something you could take out. It just seemed like something to fill up runtime. I'm not sure if it was in the book. Like I said, maybe I should read the book at this point to see where they got these ideas from, because this particular part in the movie, I don't want to spoil it. A particular part in the movie, I was like, I don't know if this is in the book or not, because I feel like it's a little not random because I can't give it away. She's trying to figure out if her friend is possessed or not, and it sounds like something else. So the friend thinks it's something else, and that becomes a whole thing. Like I said, I don't know if it's in the book, but it sounds like something that would probably be in the book. So I just found it a little odd. I understand why they put it in there, but I don't want people to get the idea that they're going to get punished or that it's a bad idea to help your friend in that situation. You'll know what I'm talking about. You might kind of know what I'm talking about because of the way I'm describing it, but you'll know what I'm talking about if you watch the movie. So yeah, that is my review. If you, like I said, if you just want to watch like a stupid movie that has dumb graphics and is funny at certain point in times, and it's funny unintentionally, maybe go ahead and watch it. Amazon Prime. I mean, I thought it was good, but not good like it's actually good. Good because it's so bad. Am I making sense? I'm not too sure at this point. With that said and done, I want to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons, and especially to AJ, Mark Sylvester, and Edward Fisher. Thank you so much, and go ahead and check out my Patreon if you haven't already. All right, so link for Patreon will be in the description. Check that out. See what's in store for you with that. If you have seen this movie, let me know what you think about it. If you've read the book but haven't seen the movie, let me know what you think about it. Leave me some ideas. Leave me some other suggestions too for other upcoming movies. I know The Menu just came out, so I'm excited to go ahead and see that. I'll probably do a review about that, so stay tuned. Otherwise, thank you for coming along with me on this journey. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all of that jazz, and as always, thanks for watching.